My throat diagnosis was about 6 years ago. I had a lump in my neck that I wasn't happy with. I went to my local GP and saw the practice nurse. She diagnosed me with a sore throat and got my GP to write a prescription for antibiotics. I didn't actually see the GP at that time. I completed the course of antibiotics and still had the lump, went back, and she got the GP to prescribe another course of antibiotics. Again, I hadn't seen the GP at that stage. Again, didn't work, and it was only when I went back on the third occasion where I saw the GP, and he immediately got me in the following day at the emergency clinic at the local hospital, the ear, nose and throat clinic, where they immediately recognised what it was. 12 months ago, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. This didn't happen through my GP. Over a weekend I became quite breathless. Wasn't sure what caused that, but because of my previous experience, I was a bit worried and went straight to A&E, where I had an X-ray, and they immediately knew something was wrong but didn't know what it was. Admitted me, and then I went through a load of tests which eventually resulted in a diagnosis of terminal lung cancer. Some people want to know everything there is to know about their cancer, and others want to know nothing at all. And the strong message that gives me is that people need to be treated as individuals. A lot of the NHS can be feel a bit like a tick box exercise, and you can't really do that with individuals all the time. You have to be flexible enough to be able to respond to the needs of the individual patients. I think there are good and bad bits to the care and treatment I've received. I was in hospital for a long time with my throat cancer, about 3 months. Witnessed some quite terrible care from nurses and doctors who clearly either didn't care what they were doing or were too busy to care what they were doing. Equally, I had some really good nurses and doctors who looked after me really well, and ultimately I came through it and was cured and cancer-free for 5 years before getting it this time. Again, my treatment this time has been better than it was first time, so I'm quite hopeful that already there have been improvements in the giving of care, but equally things haven't always worked as they should. Luckily, I'm quite an articulate and aware person, and I question people all the time. I worry that people who aren't as self-confident as I am will suffer. With treatment at the Christie, I was due to have 2 tranches of treatment, but the way the doctor had written it on the note, the radiographers thought they were doing just 1 tranche of treatment. A minor thing, and I put them right on it straight away. But it shouldn't have happened. While I was having my chemotherapy at Wythenshawe Hospital, the district nurses were supposed to come and take a blood test the day before so that we could check my blood levels were correct in order for the chemotherapy to be given. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough district nurses to come and do it, which meant that I had to have the blood test done on the morning of the chemotherapy, which meant we had to wait around for a couple of hours for the results to come back before they could decide whether they could give me the chemotherapy. Later, when I was talking to my GP, he said to me, "Well, why didn't you come here to have it?" Now, if someone had just said to me, you know, go to your GP, I could have done that, would have been done. My time at Wythenshawe Hospital would have been less, which would have been better for the nurses, better for the other people receiving chemotherapy, and better for me. I think that individually, the bits of the NHS work really well. I'd particularly highlight the medical care I get from my consultants and doctors, both at Wythenshawe, Christie and MRI, has been excellent. Can't fault it at all. A lot of the nursing care I've received has been very good as well. But I think Where they need to improve is how it all works together. Well, there were a number of reasons I wanted to get involved with the Macmillan Cancer Improvement Partnership. Because of my terminal diagnosis, I was medically retired from work, so I had quite a lot of time on my hands. And I looked into the Macmillan Cancer Voices opportunities, and this one came up based in Manchester. Because of my experiences within the NHS and the hospital system, I thought I could add something to it that would make things better and make a difference. And I wanted to make a difference to the delivery of cancer services in Manchester. I think if services are better coordinated within Manchester, then the patient wins because they get a better service, and the NHS wins because there are less repeat inpatient experiences, works out cheaper for them, and obviously less inpatient experiences better for the patient as well. It's absolutely vital that people who have been affected by cancer are involved in this process. All the different partnership organisations involved, the people are good people, they want to do good things, but they don't always understand what it's like to be a patient, to have the services delivered badly to you. And they can't understand that unless there's someone affected by cancer sat next to them saying, actually, that's not the way it works, or that's not what it feels like, or have you thought about doing this? People affected by cancer need to be at the heart of this partnership, and they need to be listened to. And ironically, it's through interacting with people affected by cancer that the partnership organisations learn that they need to be flexible, that people won't always be able to make meetings because they have treatment or what have you. It's organic and it needs to be flexible, and that's what they need to transfer into the services that they start delivering. Flexibility, coordination, serving the needs of the patient.